Hi, my name is Toby Madisar, and I am the pastry chef and co-owner with my hubby of Crumble and Flake Cafe and Patisserie in Issaquah, Washington. I've been doing this for about 25 years now, and I started in New York City, and then I moved to Seattle, Washington, where I am today. And in between New York and Seattle, I studied at a professional pastry chef school in Paris, and then I also got to work at a local patisserie in Paris, which was an amazing experience and really brought me to where I am today, which is making authentic French pastries. Today I'm going to show you some traditional and non-traditional methods for making pastries. Things that I've developed over the years. I have a love for chemistry, which is really where pastry lies. And so what I've done over the years is really try to hone in and figure out how to make things more economical and more efficient, but way tastier than you've ever had before. Today I'm going to make one of my absolute favorite pastries of all of mine is the Pecan Tart. There is a difference in the shell of mine. I make it as a sweet tart shell, but a lot of people love pie dough, so they'll make a pecan pie. Really the same kind of filling and all of that. I just enjoy the crispness and the crunchiness of a tart shell, so I do pecan tarts instead of pies. But in the end, same gooey yumminess, toasted maple, pecan flavor. It's all just so good. So let's get into it. So now we're making pecan tart. First we start with eggs. It helps give us that gooiness. So we're gonna crack 4 eggs and whisk those up. Then we add all of our other sugars. That's where the real gooiness comes in. So these I had sitting out, so they're room temperature, which makes the shell nice and thin and easy to crack. So if you can remember to keep your eggs out before using them, it's awesome. You can even leave them out overnight. A health department might not approve of that, but just, it's okay. So whisk up your eggs. Nice and good. Everything's all together. Then we're going to add our sugars. So we have some sugar. When I make a really big batch of this, I use a mixer, but we're just making a tiny little batch. I mean, this is tiny for me, you know, a bakery, we're making big batches. And this is Lyle's golden syrup. You can use regular corn syrup if you want, but I like to use Lyle's golden syrup. One, because it's British, so, you know, it's fun that way. But also, it just has a yummier flavor, a little bit more like golden honey-ish sort of flavor versus just straight corn syrup. I do use corn syrup. I don't, you know, put up my nose to corn syrup. We're going to be making some caramel apples at the bakery later this week because it's fall, so we're going to make some caramel apples. And you got to have corn syrup in the caramel apples. So I do use corn syrup. It's not completely gone. Then this is the best part, of course, the maple syrup. Try to use real maple syrup if you can. I know that it's expensive, and so to use this much of real maple syrup means you have like the $1 million pecan pie, but it's going to taste like $1 million, so, you know, it's worth it. And look at that, just that yummy gooiness. Might as well throw in our salt now. And then the last thing we're going to add is some melted butter. You just want to make sure this is all gooey and good together. Look at that. I call that gooey and good. Now this, add while you're whisking. It'll make it a lot easier. Don't worry that, see how my milk solid separated? Don't worry about that. It's all going in together. There you go. There you go. I'm not quite sure those noises are necessary, but I tend to make noises when I am whisking. Makes it more fun. You gotta have fun in the kitchen. Do not bake on the day that you are feeling just blah, or things aren't just like, you're just in sort of a nasty mood, you know? Because it's gonna come out in your food. You gotta feel love. It's all about the love. That is the secret ingredient to the best food. The chef has the love. All right, look at that. See how the butter just came all together? Just make sure it's nice and melted. Don't use it if it's sort of melted, but then it kind of congealed back together. You don't want to do that. You want it to be all nice and syrupy like that. Oh, look, I had a little more salt. Haha, silly me. Make sure you add all of your ingredients. I must have just not been looking too well. All right, so check all your containers. Make sure you've added everything. All right, that's looking good. Now I have a pre-done tart shell. I know, I sort of cheated there, and it's already done. But that's how we do things, right? So now we're gonna add the pecan. Now I like to use pecan pieces. There's sort of a debate, you know, with pecan pie. Do you use whole pecans or do you use pecan pieces? Or sometimes you use a combo of both. I like the bite of a pecan pie made with all pecan pieces. That's what this girl does. So I'm gonna load it up, and I can tell you I have never measured my pecans. I do it by eye. I am looking to cover the shell with just the tiniest amount of crust peeking through when I push it. And then sometimes once I add the filling, I can tell I need a few more pecans. So that looks good to me, but I might add a few more once I pour in the filling. All right, mix your filling one more time. Make sure it's all, all good. All right. Use one of those measuring cups to hold that whisk, or it's going to be a mess to clean up. All right. Now, it's going to soak in there. So you need to kind of move your pieces around a little bit. So don't skip this part. You do want to move the pieces around. They're all gonna come back together. Don't worry that they're all moved all over the place. Now this does get a little trickier when you're using the whole pieces, because you might have put your pieces in a perfect, you know, little pattern, which you can do. You can just put them all around like this, your nice whole pecan. And then obviously you'd be a lot more gentler, a lot more gentle. Let's go with that. All right, let's add a little bit more. All right, so now I can see it's a little soupy. All right, so now it's a little soupy to me. So now I'm gonna add a few more pecans. You gotta find that perfect balance of soupiness to pecanness. And that's how you get that perfect bite, where you have enough gooey, but enough pecans to match that gooiness. Oh, this is gonna be so good. All right, so see, this is a little gooey here. See how that's kind of thin? But then over here, this part is too thick. So just kind of stir it up. Just use your shell's good. It's not going anywhere. All right. I like my gouda to pecan ratio here. So then this, we're gonna put onto a sheet tray. We're gonna stick it in the oven. We're gonna bake her up. And then when we come back, you're gonna see a gorgeous pecan pie, and we're gonna serve it up with some butter pecan ice cream. All right, we'll see you in a bit. All right, we're back, and here we have the pecan pie. And what I wanna show you about this tart ring that I'm using here is that it has a removable bottom. So this is the kind you want to get if you can, because look at that. It just comes right off and it's so nice and easy. And then you can cut right onto the bottom. So lay it down on a flat surface. Don't put it on a plate yet, because you won't be able to get a nice slice if you're going like this, and then you have to go up because of the edge of the plate. So put it on a nice flat surface. Use the bottom as your like solid piece, you know, to hold it. Now we go pretty generous here at our house. So this is only gonna feed 4. I understand for others this will feed 6 or 8, but for our house, this is a 4 serving tart. Also makes it way easier to cut, because you just have to go half and half. And then we're gonna serve this up with some nice vanilla, no, sorry, scratch that, butter pecan ice cream. Because that was Daddy's favorite. All right. Got this pretty little plate over here. Actually, I'm gonna take this slice. There we go. And then we're gonna get ourselves a scoop of butter pecan ice cream. I like to put it on the side, because if you put it on top, it starts to melt, and then your pecans get even soggier. Who wants that? You want nice crunchy pecans. And there you have it. The pecan pie, with a little ice cream on the side. It doesn't get any better than that. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am so happy to be able to share my special pecan pie recipe with all of you. And I hope that you are inspired this fall, this winter, even spring or summer, just to make some nice pecan pie for you and your friends. Thank you so much. Have a great one.